Well, hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, all you bright-eyed manifestors. I'm excited to be here. I want to talk to you today about the top 3 mistakes that I see when people are using the law of attraction, the law of assumption, and the law of vibration to manifest something that they want. My name is Amira Hall, and I am a manifesting specialist. I've been on the path of metaphysics for over 40 years now, a path of self-healing, a path of learning and understanding the principles that operate our abilities to create and manifest what we want. For the last 25 years, I've been teaching people exactly the formula that I learned after I had a near-death experience. So I've worked with thousands of clients around the globe. I had the privilege of working with VVIP clients in Dubai, and all the principles work the same for everybody, and no matter who you are. But one thing I noticed specifically is that there's a lot of people that don't understand how to use these laws, or they might think they're understanding it or following the law of attraction because they have a vision board up, or they've got some affirmations that they say and repeat and hoping that things are going to change. But it's a little bit more complex, and I just want to simplify or help you understand today what is really involved with that, and the expertise that I developed in seeing this and helping people through this. So, I was surprised because, one, I've been a burnout victim. And back in my career days, I was a hard charging type A personality. I remember passing my bachelor's degree, magna cum laude, at the same time I was receiving a top 10 award for a rookie in sales. I was working for Paychex Payroll at the time. So, the big mistake people make is we want more in our life. We're striving for career goals, for relationships, for, I don't know, physical fitness. And yeah, what happens is we just work too much. We don't take proper care of ourselves. We are burning the candle at both ends. We're mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausted. That's what burnout is. And I was just looking at the polls that were taken. And back in 2021, Gallup polls showed that 76% of employees reported some form of burnout along the way. And more, the study showed that 28% actually reported experiencing burnout on a regular basis. That's massive, right? I can't tell you how many clients I work with that end up going on antidepressants or anti-anxiety meds because they can't seem to manage it. I understand. I've been in chronic burnout and stress for prolonged times. I've been diagnosed with chronic fatigue. The doctor told me to go home, prepare my affairs, that I would end up dying or spend the rest of my life in a wheelchair. So I understand about reversing this and restoring my health from nothing to, being vital and having the stamina to do what I do. So yeah, the long hours, the emotional pressure, the lack of proper rest, and it just constantly depletes our energy. So back to the law of attraction, the big problem is, people, I look at the law of attraction as oversimplified in terms of being able to create what you want. There's also this law that we call the law of just went blank. Oh, yeah. Assumption. I was going to say the law of sufficiency. Well, that plays into it too. But the law of assumption is assuming that you can manifest something. It's a feeling. There's a specific aspect that has to happen with the law of attraction in being clear and being focused on what it is that we want. So it's easy, when you're in a career and you're just pushing to reach, the quarterly results, you've got that goal hanging over your head or a carrot dangling in front of you for the bonus. But it's another thing if we don't realize what negative thoughts or feelings might be operating in the background. I often relate this to, you might have closed your Word document, but it's still open. It's still operating. It's still using up hard drive space. All right. And so that's what it is. Instead of saying something like, I want a better job, you might want to experience and get clear about the aspects of the job and how you feel doing the job. So that leads us to the second mistake that I see people using with law of assumption and the law of vibration, because those go hand in hand with the law of attraction. You can't simply think something and trust that it's going to manifest. So the first one was the lack of clarity or lack of being specific. Now, I have to say, as a person advances and understands and starts working with their energetics, all they literally have to do is have the thought in their head, and those feelings and that energetic alignment are literally what propels and magnifies that to them. So that's for another time. If you want to learn how to do that, there's a link in the description. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you, because you just got to roll up your sleeves and I'll guide you all the way through. So yeah, when we hold on to negative beliefs and limiting thoughts. So, I was thinking of a client who her husband passed away a few years, and she's been in a deep depression ever since then. And she's missing him tremendously, but she's also regretting some of the things that she hadn't done or said, or wished she had done things differently in many ways. So those are negative beliefs. Those are negative thoughts, as an example. And in working together, what was amazing is, I think it was just after a few weeks, she responded to me and told me that, I got up this morning and I put lipstick on for the first time in 6 years. Now, that's huge, because she was feeling better about herself. She didn't know exactly what negative feelings had been erased or dissolved, but she was just feeling so much more herself and wanting to feel and present herself to the world, right? Coming out of her shell, so to speak. So we don't realize how much of our limiting thoughts and beliefs, you might have said, well, I divorced that person, or I moved on from that. Oh, that was a long time ago. The trauma, the anxiety, the old memories, those are all very active in your energy field. See, the mistake people think is that their aura, their energy field, that in a healthy aura, it should extend arm's length around you. But many people I work with, their auras are extended and filling up the whole room. I was talking to a lawyer client of mine, and she had no idea how her aura was filling up the whole office. And it's only in learning how to release some of it and repositioning your energy field do you kind of start to get it. It's really one of those things that you got to feel it. So what she started to understand is how much she wanted the office to be successful and get all their, cases in perfect order and meet all the needs of clients. She was putting so much more effort than her partners were, and she felt like she was starting to resent it. So those negative feelings is because she was taking so much action. Her energy field was so far extended that other people were going, oh, I'm gonna kick back, So the one thing she wanted was support, and she wasn't getting it. But unbeknownst to her, she was extending her energy field, and that was sabotaging or pushing, creating resistance for others to step in and support. Anyway, I could go on for hours about that and explain the dynamics. The third mistake people make is the lack of consistency, and that comes back again to your vibration, your commitment to meditation. And the tools and the techniques I use using quantum tools is to reset your energy field on a daily basis. You see, none of us were born with a manual. My parents didn't get a manual, and we haven't been taught the ABCs of who we are and how to function in this frickin' life. We're spiritual beings having an energy, a human experience, and it's an energetic, cluster, what. So we aren't consistent. We aren't persistent. We give up after a short amount of time. That's why in my mentoring programs and all the work I do, I connect. We have a one-on-one every single week, because it's no good to download another YouTube video. You're going to forget about it in another week. Or bless your heart, if you get to 21 days and you do the same thing, then what? You see, we can't see what we can't see. We can't navigate where those blocks are, right? So that's, I guess, that the other biggest mistake that's not on my list is that, when you don't have guidance to navigate what you can't see, you're probably not going to get very far. You might manifest that house on the hill. You might manifest a great career for so long. That I did that. Yeah, I remember being stuck in just being a starving artist for a lot of years and thought, I'm tired of this and I'm done with this. So I called up a friend her and I tracked careers for a long time. I called her up and she was in the backup emergency power equipment services industry. So I called her and said, who is your competition? She gave me the names of her competition. Now, her and I, we wouldn't work in the same territory or anything, but I thought, well, hell, she's making great money. I'll go do what she does with another company, because there were no openings with her company. Otherwise, I would apply there. So funny enough, it called up this company and the owner answered. I said, hey, I heard you're looking for a great salesperson. So he said, okay, great. I'll be in San Diego. Let's make a reservation at this restaurant. I'm like, whoa, that's a cool interview. So what happens is I met him for lunch. We had an amazing talk. We really jived, everything was cool. He goes, I'm on my way to Las Vegas. Go home, pack a bag, and let's go. And I'm like, oh, this is a bit sketchy, right? This could be weird. Guess what? He booked my own room. We had a great night and fun gambling. He gave me money to go play the machines, and we had a fantastic time. We went to see 2 or 3 clients, and he hired me. That was the funnest interview that I ever had, but I made that career and that job, and I wanted a 6-figure income I wanted a 6-figure job, and that I had been in that, and it had been a while. So I was back in the saddle, doing great. I had everything I wanted. I was meditating when I wanted. I crossed the hall to go into my office. That was back in 1996. Okay. I was an early adopter of the work at home, the telecommuter, as they called us. So, and I would go swimming at lunch. And so I was managing my burnout. So I thought, right? It was great. So what happened was I only had a 3-year plan. I only created what I call a mock-up or a vision of 3 years. And at 3-year point, he sold the company. He sold it to one of the managers in the company, and the manager fired me because I was making more money than him. I was well into 6 figures. And so that's the moral of the story. My mock-up was only 3 years, but that's okay. I went on to creating other things. But you have to laugh at yourself. You have to laugh at how specific we need to be sometimes, or revisit, as I speak to my students, we revisit that mock-up and we rearrange it. Yeah. It was 6 figures. So I needed to create a new one, a new stretch for myself, but I was complacent. I wasn't persistent in that. So, hey, plan B. So anyway, I hope that was inspirational for you today. If you like this video, please go give me some thumbs up. It just really helps the algorithms. And I love to hear how you're using the law of assumption to assume that you've got it and you can manifest and you deserve exactly what you want. That law of vibration. You can't just raise your vibes by looking at a meme out there on Instagram. I'm sorry. There is a commitment to doing something different to raise your frequency so that it becomes that supercharged magnet for you and drawing all of what you desire and attract everything that you want into your life. So I appreciate you. I am so grateful you're here. Thank you so much for everybody that's a subscriber. It really helps a lot. YouTube will show these videos to more people. And I'll put the link in their description for you to get the ebook, the free ebook, How to Manifest Anything You Want. I'll look forward to seeing you again. I'm here weekdays, 11 a.m. Eastern time, and I'll be back again real soon. Until then,